Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a brilliant video on the channel this morning of Simon solving with last month's competition winner Erin Toler. Erin was brilliant and articulate and smart, and Simon was his normal self, so it's an excellent collaborative solve of a puzzle by Playmaker 6174. I recommend it very highly. It's on the channel and you can check it out. Now, yesterday I solved a puzzle by Erin on the channel as preparation for that, and as was pointed out in the comments, about halfway through I made a slight mistake, so I'm going to revisit that before I have a look at today's puzzle, which is by Marty Sears and on the subject of split peas, which is a genre I've been enjoying lately. Puzzles by Samu Piano and Sudoku and Chinstrap especially, but Marty does something extra with entropy today, of course. We'll look at that in a moment. First of all, a few things on the channel. On Patreon, we've got the fantastic Are You My Mama Hunt by the PBN Institute featuring number sums puzzles. It's great fun. Loads of people have been enjoying it. Over the next couple of days, we're going to have a crossword and a connections video. Just loads of content always going on Patreon. Check it out. It's always good value, as are our apps, which feature line Sudoku. And of course our latest Fog of War Sudoku, very popular, some great puzzles by great authors there. We've also of course got our merchandise and SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD. And the links under the video show all of those and the link for the puzzle I'll be doing today. But first of all, a quick look at where I was yesterday, when a number of people pointed out that row 2, column 2 got miscoloured. So I said this cell could be grey or blue, and I missed out the bright green colour, which it could also have been at that point. Now, I'm very grateful to a couple of commenters who added sort of solution notes, Borcon and I think it was X-Face Two-Face, who came up with some ideas that would have been very helpful at this point. Now, first of all, I should have coloured this cell because we were looking at sequences on these violet lines, and that cell had to be the same as that. So that was a definite green, which could be labelled L for low there. Now, L for low, there are 4 low digits, remember, and that meant that this bright blue digit in this box 4 had to be in one of those 2 cells, which is quite important because it does, first of all, rule bright blue out of this cell, but also out of this cell, which is another low digit and can't be bright blue or purple. So this must be a pair definitely involving bright green, and whichever of the other cells in the row is low. Well, suddenly if that's a pair involving whichever of these is low, it can't be red because that's already in the box. So this must be a green-grey pair. And we can still go a bit further. We can actually do something very nice here. Firstly, if this was a 1 in this cell here, that would make this black dot sequence 2, 4, 8. You'd have 4, 1 in this row, and that would be grey and green, but that doesn't work because they're not a V pair. The 2 V pairs have become that pair and that pair in row 2. In fact, red has become high. So that wouldn't work straight away. Oh, sorry, I've lost the highlighting. So it's not, what am I doing? Right, it's not therefore a, what have I just said? It's not a 1 here because that would make this a 4, 1 pair, which is impossible in this row. So this is a 3, and we could have got that at this point. Yellow becomes a 7. Now, there's still a little more to do because we know that the 3, we don't know yet what colour it is. It's either green or grey. But in this row, it's in one of those cells because that's an effective V pair and that's an effective V pair. Either, whichever this 3 goes with is a 2 and is either pink or bright blue. So 2 is in one of those cells. And this then becomes a 4 as a result of that. And I mean, could have done all of this at the time. These are now a 1, 2 pair. And this has become low, so it's not red. And it is 8 or 9. I'm just trying to work out, sorry, it is, no, it's not 8 or 9. What am I talking about? It's low, and it's going with 1 or 2. So that is 3 or 4. We've got that 3, 4. Sorry, I'm not exactly skating through this now. We've got the 1, 2 pair here at this point in this solve. That one is 1 or 2, leading to orange being 8 or 9. I did think this, I think I'd been through this once before. I'm sorry I'm not seeing it as clearly as I should be at this point. But I mean, it's a very clever puzzle, and you know, it deserves this kind of attention, if I'm honest. This is 8 or 9. The H digit, which is high, so is now definitely red and is sitting there as well. Well, we learned that that can't be 8 from this box. That becomes 9, and now we know that blue is a 1 on that X, and green is a 4, and that colours these cells up here, and that will do it. So from that, basically what I learned at this point in the solve was that that was grey, and I had no right to learn it was grey without doing those sorts of steps. But sorry, Erin. It's a super puzzle anyway. Thank you to the people who pointed out how it could have been cracked, and that was yesterday. We move on to today. Entropy by Marty Sears. I'm going to do the rules now. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3 by 3 box. Now, the split P lines, along a peach line, the digits between the green circles sum to a 2-digit number. These 2 digits appear in the green circles in either order. So if those added up to 24, that could be 2 and 4 in some order. Now, in this puzzle, the lines are also entropic, including the green circles. The previous rule didn't include them. Any 3 adjacent digits along an entropic line, like those 3, must include one small one from 1, 2, 3, one medium one from 4, 5, 6, and one high one from 7, 8, 9. So split your keyboard in 3. And that's the rule. Give this a try. Entropy and split P. It's an intriguing combination, and Marty's an absolute genius. So let's get cracking. Where dost we start? This line's a crazy line. Now, despite being the longest line in the puzzle, no, forget that. No, forget that. Let's do this. Yes, and this one. Right, and maybe even this one. So, these lines have 2 digits on. The maximum 2 digits that are in the same box in a Sudoku can add up to is 17. So, each of these split Ps must have a 1 in one of their circles, because the number... There's no zeros available. The number's between 12 and 17 on the line. And these ones are positioned 4 cells apart. Right. What I know about entropy, yes, is that every 3 cells you repeat the same entropic set. No, or every 4th cell, actually. So what I mean is, if that's low, these 2 are a mixture of middly and high, and if they're middly and high, that must be low. So we're first of all considering that threesome of neighbours, and then that threesome of neighbours. And what that means is if you go 3 steps along from this one, you will meet a digit in the same grouping. So this is now adding up to 12 or 13. This one must be doing the same. This one, I think it's the same deal, isn't it? Those 2 add up to 12 or 13. So, and this is a 3, that's very different. I won't approach that for a moment. Let's see if I can learn anything from these ones. I'll tell you what I learn is that these 2 cells, let's just colour them yellow for a moment while we think about them, they don't contain a 1. Well, that's actually very uninteresting. Sorry. Very uninteresting indeed. Forget that theory. This line is never going to add up to anything with, well, I mean, it certainly wouldn't need a 1 in the tens digit. What is this line going to add up to? This was where I was going to start because this is quite constrained. These digits add up to somewhere between 36 and 44, depending what's there. Now, how do I know that? Because I know the secret. Every box in a Sudoku, just like every row and column, adds up to 45. Be careful with this powerful magic. We know that because that's the sum of the digits 1 to 9. So this group of cells is 45 minus whatever that is, so we'll say 36 to 44. Same here in box 6. So we're somewhere between 72 and 88 already, with one cell to add, somewhere between 1 and 9, so we go 73 to 97. Now those are quite big numbers, but they are represented by the split peas here. Now what's that telling me? I don't know, but let's remember that number. Somewhere between 73 and 97. This pair adds up to 12 or 13. So does that pair, so does that pair. What about this one then? This group of cells adds up, again we're looking at a 2-digit number, somewhere between 12 and the maximum of 24. One of these is a 1 or a 2. What about this group? And I'm forgetting entropy. Oh, I can colour the big line. That's what I should be doing. Every third cell is the same thing. Yeah, so let's colour all of those. I shouldn't really choose yellow. I'd like to save yellow up for middly. Oh, well, I'm doing it now. Yellow there. Let's go. Ooh, 3 in a row. Let's go purple in the next. Or pink. I got lambasted for calling this purple. I think people sometimes see things differently. Somebody said no one in America would call that purple. Wow, okay. Let's make that red. Okay, yellow, purple, and red. And look, we've got 3 in a row here. Oh, okay. Bingo. These two cells aren't red. They're yellow and purple in some mix. Remember, every line is going to have to alternate in one order or another, yellow, purple, red. These two cells are seeing all 3 reds. Every row, column, and box is going to have 3 reds, 3 purples, and 3 yellows, because that's the mix of the digits in a puzzle. These two are not red. One is yellow, one is purple. The point of that is this then is red, this then is red, and now we know that red is the low. I'm going to turn red into blue because I wanted to make low digits blue. 1, 2, 3 there. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple, obviously. These two, these P's that we found, they're blue because we know they're 1, 2, or 3. These ones, oh, they're not the same as each other, but one of them is going to be low. It's not going to be that one. It's going to be this one, which is 1 or 2, because this split P number is either a number beginning with 1 or a number beginning with 2. So that's blue and that's blue because it's 3 away. This is a pair of yellow and purple. I don't know about this one. It's different from that one. I do know that in this row, and that's no use. I'm not using that. I'm using that as the last blue in column 8. Now, these two cells are not blue. They're yellow or purple, but I don't know which is high yet, do I? Oh, have a think about these 2 digits. These are one is high and one is middly. So maximum 15, minimum 11, but we know they have to add up to 12 or 13. Actually not that useful. I think there's going to be a tipping point in this puzzle. Don't think we've reached it yet. Now, these are 1 of each. I mean, even that's quite interesting for their sum. It's somewhere between 147 and 369. 12 and 18 for that group of cells. Plus that gets us from 13 to 27 for the whole line. So one of these has to be blue. 27's the maximum. 963 there. And another 9 here. Yep, it is the maximum. So one of these has to be blue. It's not that one because it sees 3 blues, so it's this one. I think that's the same on this line. 3 there and that one. Again, maximum 27. One of these two has to be blue. It's not that one which sees 3 blues in its box. It's there. So those are blue. And we're getting a lot of colour. Right, I know where the last blue in box 3 is now. It's not in column 9, which already has its 3 blues, and it's not in row 2, which already has its ones, so it's in this digit. Yeah, this might be worth considering. So the last blue in column 7's in one of those 3. One of these 3 is blue. Oh, this one I can just do by counting the box. I need a 3rd yellow, and this one I need a 3rd yellow. Well, that's interesting, and this is yellow. So, if yellow is middly, I don't know, do I want to calculate this long line one? Maybe not. Let's see if I can do anything else first. These aren't blue. There is a blue in these cells. One of these is blue. This might be madness. I'm going to colour cells yellow and purple where I know they can't be blue. Just because I can. One of those is blue, so that's not. In this column, nothing else is blue. In this column, we don't have blue. This could be blue. What about that one? Yes, it could. Oh, that's surprising. I thought that might go a bit further unless I'm failing to spot groups of 6 yellow and purple. This is yellow or purple. Ah, there's a 1, 2, or 3 on this line. So the maximum it can be now is 9 and 6 there and a 3 there. 18. That has to be a 1. Well, that might inform something. So we need a 1 on the circles in box 9. We need a 1 on the circles in box 1. We need a 1 on these 2 circles, but nothing's been ruled out. Fair enough. This is a 2, 3 pair. These aren't a 1, so the 1 in that box is there. These 1s are my first digits in the puzzle after just over 10 minutes. That's all right. Not upset by that. Now, one of these 2 is a 1. We've worked out a maximum of 27. Oh, this line needs a 1. Ah. If that was a 1, these would both be 2s. I don't know if there's a problem there. I can't work it out for this line. Oh, those 2 are yellow and purple. I should have coloured them. No, I don't know. What next? This line. No, I've worked out. It just didn't add up to more than 18. This isn't allowed to be 1, 2, or 3. So it certainly adds up to at least 14. But actually, I think 13 would have been the minimum, which is hardly any different. Now, I still haven't established which yellow and purple are, so maybe I've got to think harder about the long line. I haven't really done the thinking, have I? This is 36 to 44, so is this. It's not that anymore, though, because the missing digit can't be 1, 2, or 3, so it's 36 to 41, as is this. Right, combine those together, 72 to 82, plus another yellow cell. Ah, perfect. Absolutely perfect. These are both yellow, and now one of them is over 70. Actually, that may have been available before, but yellow is high. because one of these has to be a 7 or an 8 as the tens digit, or maybe a 9. I don't think that's right. But anyway, I'm changing yellow to orange because I will recognize that as high. Now I'm going to change purple to yellow because that's a good middly color for me. So there we go. Yellow, or rather orange is high, and one of those is high. That's how we got it. Now, how is this going to help somewhere? Oh goodness, I hear loads of hooting outside. I think that is a farmer's protest returning from Westminster to the country past my road. It's very strange. Now, what else have I learned? These are definitely high, therefore. So now these are more limited. They are from 36 to 38. So is this one. That's 72 to 76 between them. Plus one more high digit, which is 7, 8, or 9. So somewhere between 79 and 89. Well, that is not actually quite as... Yeah, it's a pity. These are both high. So very unsurprisingly, somewhere between... So they could be 79 or 89. Ah, it's not quite enough for me. Now, I've got 3 oranges here. They're all definitely high. That's the sort of thing I need to be spotting. So that is middly. And this is on this line, which now can't add up to more than 16 in total. 7, 4, 2 is the minimum, which is 13. Oh, bother. Those 3 are yellow. I mean, this is blindingly obvious. Maybe I should have, I don't know what I should have been doing anyway, but those 3 are yellow. So we get some oranges here and here. Now, is that a definite pair? One of these is orange only in that box, and that's orange. So one of these is orange, and that uses all the orange up here. So these are yellow and blue, and this one is not allowed to be blue on its line. It has to alternate. So that's yellow, that's orange, this is blue, which I could have filled in ages ago and never did. But then this is yellow, but now I know the alternation of that line. And that's orange. Now with that being orange, I know the alternation of this one. I really should just focus on these alternations because they're very helpful. Now, this is a high digit. Can we get up to 27? Now that's interesting because it's touch and go now. This is a high digit, 7, 8, or 9, because it's orange. This is the low digit, but this line has got a maximum. 9 there, 6 is in both of those cells is 21, and a 3 there is 24 is the maximum. So this is a 1. Good. Now this isn't a 1, and this is a 1. This is probably a 1 because I imagine this line has the same maximum. 9 there and a pair of 6s, 21, and a 3 there, 24, but this is high. So this is a 1. It is exactly the same. I can just do a 1 by Sudoku now in row 8. That's a 1 and is the last one in the grid. All the 1s are done. They're the only full digits I've put in so far. That is blue, 2 or 3. Should I be colouring the 2s and 3s against each other? Yeah, I probably should. Well, no, I would only get those coloured. This set of 6 cells would be a self-contained sequence. So I'm not going to do that. these lines adding up to 17, 18 or 19, I don't think that's going to be particularly helpful. I guess these two cells are 2 or 3. Oh, we've had all the blues in this column. So these are orange or yellow, and in this row, these are orange or yellow. These two are blue to make up the numbers in that box. That is not blue, orange or yellow yet again. This one, also in its column, is not blue. Now, is it worth colouring the 2s and 3s? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I cannot tell. I want to colour the 2s and 3s against each other. I'm going to try it with a flash of light blue there, and light blue there, and light blue there. I'm not sure, though, that that's going to give me anything. One of these two is the other. I don't think it is. I think that is a pointless exercise. What I want is the third blue in row 8. There it is. One of those two, one of those two, and one of those two. I don't think I can do those remaining digits by I can't colour those cells. So I am going to need to have to work out some numbers somewhere now. Right, these two add up to 12 or 13, and they are one of each. 4, 8, 4, 9, 5, 7, 5, 8, or 6, 7. That is so unhelpful. My goodness, I don't know how to get another number out of this puzzle. Oh, this is on an alternation. That's yellow on that line. One of those is yellow, so that's not yellow. Oh, goodness, is this what I'm meant to be doing? Ah, I think I've been missing the plot then. That's definitely orange, apparently, so that's definitely yellow on its line. Got 2 yellows in the column, still got 1 to go. 2 yellows in the box, in the row, more importantly. 2 in this row, column, sorry. 2 in this column. Yay. There must be something about the colouring, and I'm just blundering around like a muppet, aren't I? Oh, goodness. These are 4, 5, or 6. That's 7, 8, or 9. I don't know. If I knew that was the same as that, this would have to go 4, 2, 4 to make 10. That's quite interesting. But it's probably not essential. Okay, any more alternations on the lines that are totally obvious and I haven't spotted them? And there probably are, and you're probably screaming at me now. But I can't see what they are. So, let's try this column. 2 oranges there. I don't know, that doesn't look like it helps. Those 2 yellows, they look like they ought to help. Here we've got a yellow and a blue. If my 2-3 colouring was bearing fruit, that might tell me which one couldn't be blue. But I don't think it does at all. I should just colour those opposite to the light blue 2-3s I was doing. There's a red in one of those two. No, I cannot see it. 2 of these 3 are blue, but only 1 of these 3. I'm missing the point again, all over again. Right, where did we get to? We've got almost the whole grid coloured. We've got that as a 2 or a 3. Is it the long line? It can't be. Oh, does that have to be the same as that? That would be quite interesting if so. But they'd be different. I don't know. This is... So maybe I should just be adding 45, 90 plus 1 high digit from 987 minus 2 high digits. It kind of feels like I definitely end up with 80 something. I don't think we can actually get down to 79 after all. $90 plus 2 sevens, 104 minus 9. No, 90 minus 2 nines plus a 7. Oh, we do get down to 79 then. Bother, bother, bother. That's not what I wanted to find. So, what else we got going on? We've got an orange, orange. One of these is orange. Can I colour the oranges against each other somehow? It's difficult. It is difficult. Or do I get to find out what these units digits are from these two yellows and an orange? It just doesn't seem likely to me that that resolves. I mean, there's that digit is the last yellow in one of the corners at the top. This orange is that one. I mean, okay, that must be the case, but how does it help? Okay, I am going to colour this orange. We'll give it a dark green shade, because that must be here in box 2. And then in this box, it can't be in any of those cells. Good Lord, so that orangey green colour ends up here. That's a surprise. Now this must be yellow. This must be yellow. I mean, it is information. It's perhaps not conclusive information. Have I got 3 orange in this row? Yes, that's yellow as well. Now I've got 3 yellow in this box. The corner is orange. And now I've got 3 orange in the row. The other corner is yellow. Goodness me. That does actually propagate a little way. One of these is the green one. That's not good. One of these two is. That's not good. We've got 3 yellows in the final column. That corner is orange. That's 3 oranges in the box, which I knew before. These are a yellow and a blue, but should I be colouring the yellows now? Just manic. Have I found out that those two are the same? That's probably the most important question. And I think the answer is a definite no so far. Oh, I tell you what I am going to find out. So let's get rid of the red and blue colouring, because I want to use those colours again to split up my orange colouring. I'm going to make that one red, and that's here in the corner and in one of those 2 cells. But we've got green, red and bright blue. Now, red into box 1 must be there. And that is one of the ends of the line. Is that any good? I thought that was going to help. Not sure it does. Not sure it does at all. Anything see both green and red now? No, that was a dead end, an annoying dead end. We've got 2 yellows in this box. So one of these only is a yellow. The other 2 are definitely orange. Anywhere we can't... Yeah, oh no, those could be both orange in this row. Oh, this is madness. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Should I be adding up all of these lines? It's not going to help. 2 lines together, I was thinking that. 7, 8, 9, that's 4, 5, 6. This one is a middly digit, that's also 4, 5, 6, of course. So, these add up to 9, 10, 11 or 12. Plus that. Can't get to 16. No, that's not true. That's not true. 3, 9, 4 would do it. That would be a 6. Okay, wrong. Oh, Marty, why am I not able to understand what you've done here? Okay, this yellow, I'm going to colour that bright green. That's there in box 3. And therefore not on this line, although it is on this line. Just wondering if I can split these two lines as not the same. And even if I could, would it help? I'm not 100% sure about that. I think it would. If I could colour those against each other, that would be very interesting. But to do that, I would need to establish that the orange in those cells was exactly the same as this orange down here, and I think I'm a million miles away from reaching that sort of conclusion. So you do have some sympathy for me, because these puzzles are not easy. I don't know what I'm meant to be looking for. I can write 7, 8, 9 into all of these cells. Yeah, the bright blue and red didn't really go anywhere. It was interesting that that dark green did. We were going to have a dark green in one of those and one of those. And one of these. And one of those two. 12 or 13, and this is 4. I mean, I might as well put in all the yellow 4, 5, 6s that I keep finding, because there are a lot of them in the puzzle. There we go. Never afraid to fully pencil mark. For that to be the same as that would require these to add up to 10, which would be unbelievably helpful, but it seems quite unlikely that that's going to be the case. Mind you, these two are not the green version, so there's theoretically a 50-50 chance of them being the same as each other. Then I could fill in 4, 2, 4 on the rest of the line. That would be so helpful, but this line's just as much a candidate for doing the same thing. Those two... well, I can't do 4, 2, 4 on both lines. Well, that's really interesting suddenly. So in one case, that and that, or that and that must be different. And that, I think, means that in both cases it must be different. Because if they're different in one case, then aren't they different in the other? Aren't they? No, and I'll tell you what the problem is, actually. Oh, that's a really fascinating problem. The problem is that 10 is the minimum here. You can't go down to 9 for these cells. And therefore, this digit can never be lower than this digit. You must always be adding at least... No, do I mean that or do I mean higher? You're always adding at least 10 on from those 3 to that. So this is higher and this is lower. This can't be a 9. And the same is true on this line. That can't be a 9. These two are definitely not the lowest possible digit. And now, what does that mean? Because there's something going on here. If that was a 9, these two are 8s and those two are 7s, and we're coming up to 11 totals on both of these lines. And I have a feeling that's impossible too. If you made these two 4s, the minimum, these two would be 7s, the maximum. One of them would be 2, 5, and one of them would be 3, 4. Okay, that does work. Just. That's if you made this 9. If you made this 8, there'd be a potentially wider gap. I'm now wondering, do those two have to be the same and did these two have to be the same? And I'm not sure. If they weren't, let's say that was 9 and that was 8. This would be 7. 9, 8. That would be 8. If these were different, that would be 7. and one of these would be seeing an 8-7 pair and would be impossible. If those were different. Right, they are the same. They are the same as each other. I can colour them the same. I'm going to use the blue colour and get rid of it from that one. I'm going to get rid of the reds as well. That wasn't helping. Or if it was, I don't know how. But these blues are now the same as each other. And in row 4 and column 6, these reds are now the same as each other. And the difference is always the same on these lines. These lines add up to either 11 or 12, these other 3 segments along the line. But in one case, they're doing it with a 3 in the central box. And that 3 must be going with 4 and 4, either there or there. In the other case, they're doing it with 2, and they can't use 4 in the central box. So they must use 5, and these 2 must both be 4s. And that took a lot of getting. My goodness me. Right, it's a brilliant idea, though. I mean, if that is how you're meant to solve this, the madness is staggering. Oh, and it must be, because how else can you do it? Well, I mean, you'll tell me if I'm missing something. Now, on this line, these 2 add up to either 11 or 12. Well, this isn't a 7, that much I know. Is that any use? It feels like it could be, but probably with something else. How are we doing on 4s then? That's a 4-5 pair now. What's that? What's that good for? Like war? Absolutely nothing. But these 8-9s are what come out of this group. So these cells in each box now add up to 36 or 37. It's always the same either time. So 72 or 74 between them, plus those, still 79 is possible. But the max is now 83. And that's not going to get into double high. So these are a 7-9 pair. And it is 79. And that is the minimum. So these are maxed out at 9. And these do now add up to 2 lots of 36 is 72. And that's a 7. Oh my goodness. And we've got that coloured in a few cells. Now this is a 9 in a 79 line. That's a 7. Come on, come on. That's a 9 by Sudoku. That's an 8 by the same technique. That's a 9. That's an 8. This is helpful. That's an 8. This is brilliant. Isn't it brilliant? That's an 8 because it's red. It's there as well. Okay, I'm getting rid of those red colours because they did their job. I'm getting rid of these greens because they did their job. And that light blue pair. What a job they did. Now, this line, 13 plus 2 or 3 equals 5 or 6. That's so irritating. But it's the same total here. Oh no, it's not. It's the same digit. So if that's a 2, that's a 5, that's a 3, and that's a 5. That works. It'll work the other way around as well. If that's a 3, that's a 6. That's a 2, and that's impossible. Okay, 2 here doesn't work in this cell because 12 is not possible now. So that's a 3, that's a 2, this is a 5, and that's the green colour. Well, 6, 5. Okay, green colours have done their job as well. Bye-bye, bright green. This pair involves a 6, and they can't therefore add up to 12. It must be a 6, 7 pair adding up to 13. Or would be repeating a 6. Goodness me, that's 2 in the corner, not 3. That's now a 2 by Sudoku. That's where we wanted to get to on the bottom row. I don't know where the 3s go. I've done the 1s, still can't finish off. This is a 6. That box is complete. That's peculiar. That is a 3 to complete the column. 2 there. Now, come on, I still can't do these 2, 3. Oh, I've got to do one of these lines. I can't do them. But it's 2, 3, 4, 5 combo there. 1, 7. These are 6, 8, 9. That can't be an 8. 1, 8, 2, 3. We've got another 3. Oh, these two add up to 12. This one sees 9, 8, and 7. Wow, so it's definitely middly. It can't be 6 if they're going to add up to 12. This must be high. It is 8 or 7. Oh, I've got a 5 there, so this has been done by Sudoku. That's not a 6. 7, 8, 9 in the rest of the row. I know what colour they are. They're all orange. That one can't be an 8 by some very ordinary Sudoku. This is an 8 in its box by Sudoku. That can't be an 8. We've found 8 in the central area, in the central cell of the puzzle. This, well, I mean, it's Marty Sears, but it's still a lot harder than I was expecting. But maybe I've missed easy ways to do it. I don't know. Doesn't feel like it. 7, 1, 8, 2. The central column needs a 3, doesn't it? That was a 6, 7 pair, so this is an 8. And that's a 5. And that sorts out the yellows in the top 3 rows. 5 and that. Now, these had to add to 7, didn't they? We've got 12, 17, that's a 2. That's a 3. Its line works. That's a 2, that's a 3. That sorted out the 3, 2 pairs. Still can't place the 3s at the bottom because it wasn't doing that. That's 6, 7 pair, not resolved as far as I can see. 6, that is resolved as a 9, and that's a 6. I can colour those. That 6 comes out of that candidate cell. I can't believe this puzzle's still alive. It's so cruel. That's become a 7. There we go. 8 there, 9 there. Now, to make that line work, it's a 4. Now we need a 4 here, and I know its colour, obviously. That's a 5 by Sudoku, so I know its colour. That now becomes 3, and that becomes 9. I can colour that blue. The last 3 will be there, and will also be blue. That 9 is orange. Still got plenty of cells which I haven't coloured up, but that's a 5, 7 pair. That's a 6. I know its colour. In this column, I've got a 4 and a 7. Put the digits in first, then do the colours. That's the way. There we go, and there we go. Now that becomes a 6 by Sudoku. They're done. That's a 6. That sorts out these. This is a 5, 9, and before I do the last cell, let's sort out the colours because otherwise it looks a bit untidy. So those two go high, and that one, this goes middly. This one, is that the last part coloured cell in the grid? It's going to go to middly, as is that. I think I've done the colouring there. Sorry if I've missed a part coloured cell somewhere. That's a 5. It's right. What a brilliant puzzle. 40 minutes of fun. Thank you, Marty Sears and Entropy. What an extraordinary puzzle that was. I don't know if all of those steps were necessary. I'll be very interested to see how you guys got on with this. So do leave a comment about that. And we will see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.